garbage and get it approved.
Do you admit being chairman of the Board of Peace past your second term in office?
I have the right to be if I want. I mean, I'll decide. We'll see what happens. But they'd like me to be. It's in theory for life. But I'm not sure I want that. But it's going to do great work with Gaza and maybe other things. You know, it could be beyond Gaza. And we'll work in terms of the with the United Nations, who I've always said the United Nations has great potential, but they have not lived up to them. And I say 8 wars and I never spoke to them. You'd think I would have spoken to them a lot. But the United Nations has great potential. I think working with the Board of Peace is going to be a good thing for the United Nations.
Will you tell us who your Fed pick is?
said a couple of days ago that there would be something in the works where you could take money out of your 401k to help on purchasing a home. Is that something that the administration is working on?
I'm not a huge fan of other people like it. They're talking about taking money out to put a deposit down on a home. And one of the reasons I don't like it is that their 401ks are doing so well. You know, 401ks are up 80, 90% in some cases. And you know, you're talking about a lot of people. We're talking about very mainstream. And they're really doing, and the housing market's good, but the 401ks are doing much better than the housing market. I like keeping their 401ks in great shape. I like keeping their 401ks. I'm not a huge fan of putting down a deposit. I'm not. I'm so happy with the way 401ks are doing. But you have people tell me they're up 88%. And over the period of a year, over a full year, it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be close to 100%. Yeah, Steve.
You tell us back to the Board of Peace. Some of the countries are, I think the permanent members contributed $1 billion. Is that money supposed to be for Gaza?
Have already put up $1 billion. Some of the countries have already put up much more than that. I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to the value of peace. Peace is so destructive for everyone, even countries that aren't involved. I mean, it's so destructive for everybody when you have wars.
Please tell us who your Fed pick is, sir. You tell us who your Fed pick is.
I'll be telling you soon. No, I have somebody that I think will be very good, but I'm not going to reveal it.
Wall Street? Someone from Wall Street?
Somebody that's very respected, very well known, and will do, I think, a very good job.
President Putin has said that he may use frozen Russian assets to pay for his entry to the Board of Peace. Are you inclined to let him do that?
I don't know about that. I mean, I've heard that. A little. Who said that?
President Putin.
Very interesting. But he said he's going to use his money.
It's frozen
If
assets.
he's using his money, I think that's fine. Yeah. You're talking about where he said this morning
Yeah.
he's going to join the Board of Peace and he's going to make a contribution of $1 billion. Yeah, by using his money. I mean, if he's using his money, that's great. I think it's important to have everybody in.
Are you concerned about the investigation into Jay Powell, making Jay Powell stay longer on the Fed?
No, I'm not concerned. We'll have to see what happens. He's too late. It's always too late. Despite that, we have interest rates going down. And also, he's, building a small complex, the Fed building, and they're going to be close to $4 billion. It's the most expensive job, and it's a renovation. It's the most expensive job per square foot ever built of any kind. It's either gross incompetence or it's worse.
Are you done with the interviewing people for the job?
Are you worried about the market reaction to your tariffs on Monday and Tuesday?
Market reaction's been good. It was up very big today. It was up big yesterday. It's where it started. It's very close to 50,000 for the Dow. And nobody thought you could be breaking 50,000 during the first year. So we'll see what happens. No, pretty much even, right? Just about even.
Market came up only after you backed away from your threats.
As of yesterday, the market came up very nicely.
On that 10% cap with the credit cards, is that an end goal? Is it a negotiating point? And are you speaking with certain lawmakers?
People, the credit card companies are getting 28% interest. So a guy goes out, they don't even know it. These are people, regular people. They don't know that they're paying overdue and they end up having to file for bankruptcy. I'm not going to let that happen. So it's a 1 year 10% cap on credit cards. We have to get that approved by Congress too. So that's not a no-brainer.
Say that you
Should be a no-brainer, but it's not.
Sir, did you say that you spoke with Maria Machado today?
Yeah, I called.
Can you tell us about that conversation?
We have a very good relationship, just to say. She's a good woman, a very nice woman. She's been through a lot, and at the same time, I'll tell you, they're doing a very good job in Venezuela. So it's interesting. I get along with both sides. I get along with everybody but the media. You know, the fake news and I don't get along, but I get along with everybody.
When will you pivot, sir, to at what point will you pivot in Venezuela to say we should have an election there?
I want to see how they do. First of all, they have to, we have to take in a lot of money. We have to get that back. Right now, they're not living well because of what's gone on for years. It's years of socialism and worse. It's really, worse than socialism. But we're going to start drilling very soon. We have the biggest companies in the world. We have them, and they're going to be going in. They're all negotiating right now. And we're representing the nation, and the nation is very thrilled by that because we're really good at this. And they'll be taking in more money than they ever have, but we'll be taking in a lot of money too. That's going to do two things. It's going to make the United States a lot of money, and it's also, going to make Venezuela a lot of money, but it's also going to bring down oil prices even further. We have oil prices down, in many cases, to $2.30 a gallon, and in also numerous cases, $1.99, below $2. It was $4.50, $5, $3.90. Prices are coming down very rapidly, including groceries, including just about everything. And they're starting to come down even more. We're getting them low. I inherited very high prices. When they talk about affordability, they caused it. I inherited very high prices, and we've done a great job. Prices have come down a lot. And I would say led by energy. We're pumping more oil right now. We're drilling more oil than at any time in the history of our country by far.
One more on the Fed, if you will.
When you add Venezuela to it, it's a tremendous part of the market.
One more on the Fed, if you will. The Supreme Court seems skeptical of your power to remove Lisa Cook from the board. What's your reaction to that?
We'll see. I listened to some, I read some of it, and I didn't get that impression other than they thought maybe it should have gone through a more normal court system. But nobody was saying she's innocent. What they're saying is maybe it should have been a longer process. So we'll see what happens.
Back to Iran for a second. We've seen wild variation in the numbers supposedly killed in those protests. Have you seen a reliable estimate about how many people were killed?
Well, nobody knows the number. It's a lot no matter what. Hey, if it was one person, in this country, if it's one person, it's, front page news. It's a lot of people. But there's a difference between a lot and 20,000 people. So we'll find out what it is. We're going to find out exactly what it is.
Have you arranged a meeting with health insurance executives? You had mentioned you would have. When will that be taking place?
The biggest company, yes. We have. What I'd like to see is that the money is paid not to the health insurance or not to the insurance companies, directly to the people into a healthcare account, savings account. And the people buy their own healthcare. Now, the Democrats don't like that because they're owned by the insurance companies. The Democrats are owned by the insurance companies. Obamacare, and I said this for a long time, Obamacare was set up by the insurance companies. They made a fortune. 1,000 points, they're going up 1,000, 1,250, 1,359%. That's all the money pouring in. I want the money to go directly to the people. Let the people buy their own health care. Now, their health care is going to be better, and they'll be paying less money. It's going to be amazing. But we have to get the Democrats to support it, most likely. Yeah.
You're going to Iowa on Tuesday. What's your message there ahead of the midterm elections?
Great to the farmers. The farmers have been great. I helped them out when we were going through the difficulty with China, which we solved. China's buying a lot of product right now, as you know. But while we had that negotiation, and billions of dollars, and they were very happy. No, the farmers like Trump, and I like the farmers. I won their vote I won almost all aspects of a lot of. Look at the auto workers, how well I did with the Teamsters, the auto workers. The farmers have been very special to me, very successful. All 3 terms, I won it all the time. So I think they're really happy, the farmers, with what's happening.
And you've expressed some concern, though, about the midterm elections.
My only concern is that presidents never win. You know, what is it, 2 times in 50 years? Democrat or Republican. Even, I mean, nobody had a better first year than I did. Look at what we've done. We have the greatest economy in the world. We have the greatest investment in a country in history by many times. Nobody's ever had that. Think of it, $18 trillion. We have thousands of businesses being built right now. And they're going to be opening soon, and it's going to be amazing. Also, the great big beautiful bill kicks in now. And over the next couple of months. That's going to have a huge impact when you have no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. That's going to have a huge impact. Also, the 1-year depreciation is big for businesses. They're going to have to hire a lot of people. So I don't think there's ever been anything like it. I think we have a great country. We have a country back. We were a dead country, and now we're great.
How much travel are you going to do this year, campaign travel?
I'm going to do a lot of campaign traveling. I hate to tell you guys, but it's going to keep you employed. Now, we're going to work hard. I mean, the only problem with that question is, for whatever reason, it's a deep down psychological reason, sitting presidents that won, even that won big, we won big, all 7 swing states, a popular vote, sitting presidents don't seem to do well in the midterms. I guess over a 50-year period, they won twice. So I don't know what that is. That's something down deep. You'd have to ask a psychiatrist about that. But we should do great. We won the election big. The border is now great. The border is the best we've ever had. The border is the best there is anywhere in the world. Look at some of the European countries, what happened. They wish they had our border. And they tell me that openly. They wish they had our border. And they have to do something about immigration.
How many times do you think you'll meet with the Chinese president this year?
But I'm going to make a trip. I'm going in April. He'll come toward the end of the year. And I look forward to seeing President Xi. I've always had, his wife is fantastic. He's an amazing guy. And I've always had a great relationship. President Xi of China. Always had a great relationship with him. It was a very strained relationship during COVID. But now it's an excellent relationship. Look, you see that. Look at all the farm product they're buying now. Soybeans, they're buying a lot of soybeans. And it makes our farmers happy. And that makes me happy. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
We saw the bruising on your hand. Are you okay?
काम किया है ट्रंप ने कि एक दुनिया को तकसीम करने की बात की। चाइना कहां पे है इस पे? अगर फर्ज कीजिए कि ये दुनिया के पीस करने के लिए बात होती है, तो कितने ममालिक, इन ममालिक की फेरिस्त आज जिन्होंने दस्तखत किए हैं, मीर साहब जरा देख लें उनकी जो है कौन कौन से ममालिक हैं। ज्यादातर ममालिक वो हैं जहां पे कोई डिक्टेटरशिप है या जो है इस किस्म के अपने मामला।
अच्छा जाहिद साहब, एक चीज बड़ी अहम है, एक चीज बड़ी अहम है कि गजा बोर्ड ऑफ पीस में कुछ अहम ममालिक